Welcome back to another episode of Miller's Moments, NFL Burners League edition. This is the week 3 review, and I am joined by none other than Steel Kurt manager Robbie. How are you, mate?
I'm not too bad. How are you?
I'm going good, mate. I'm going good. How was your fantasy week this week?
It wasn't the greatest. Dropped my first game of the year. Unfortunate loss to Blake. It was built up as being the game of the round. It probably didn't live up to those expectations, but it was still a good battle nonetheless. Blake's got a good team.
Absolutely.
Um, yeah. Going into yesterday, needed 37 out of Lamar, which was always going to be a tough task. Ended up getting 27, so fell just a little bit short.
Yeah, we'll
That's
break
right.
that down further. So,
Yeah, we regroup and look forward to next week.
absolutely, mate. Just give us a quick word on how you got involved with the league, mate.
Yeah, so obviously, as everyone in the league knows, I'm cousins with Jack, Blake, and Max. And back in 2019, I think it was when we started the league, we were actually sitting at the Craigburn Sporting Club at my mum's birthday, and Jack was just like, "Do you want to do this?" Well, yeah, why not? We started the Snapchat group chat that we had for the draft that year, and yeah, the rest is history.
Yeah, perfect, mate. Awesome. Just give us your best and worst moment throughout the years, mate.
Best, it's hard to go past the championship in 2022. I'd say the most dominant championship in our league's history so far.
There you go.
Going
Big call. He's called himself the most dominant champion. Well, we'll see how that gets
the stat the
taken
stats
across all the.
the stats back it up. Like you look at it, the most points scored in a season for a 12 team league that we've had went 11-3, which is the equal best record in um our our league's history. Max went 11-3 a few years ago, but couldn't get it done in the big dance like I did.
There you go.
So
Stats back it up. There you go. Put that on a t-shirt, mate.
yeah,
Yeah.
100%.
Just give us a quick word on the hype video that got released before the week 1 of fantasy, mate.
No,
What do you make of it?
it was good. I actually really enjoyed that. Yeah, obviously put a fair bit of effort into that, and no, it turned out really good.
Yeah, it took me a while. It took me about I don't know, a couple of days, but yeah. Who do you reckon had the funniest betrayal? Now, in the last 2 weeks, we've had two different answers. But
It's hard to go past Chris with the
Mustia, it's
yeah
two for
with the,
Mustia.
as Jack said in week 1, the never misses neck day. Hard to go past that.
That's it. Absolutely. Thanks, mate. Now we'll move on to the week 3 review. So we'll go through all of the games in our league, and we'll go through some players as well who affected the results. So we'll
Sounds
start
good.
off with the first game, which is my game against the Hammers Henchmen against PHSA Darren. And I've got 2 wins in a row. I
That
scored a
was
whopping 150.32 against Darren's 103.12. Now, coming into the game, I was 1-1, and he was also 1-1. So my
that
team, once again, proving the goods. A lot
That's
of
an
money.
absolute massive win. Going into
Absolutely.
going into the season, everyone wrote you off, and you've absolutely shut everyone up
That's
so
it, mate.
far.
Like,
So
mate,
hopefully,
I had the players highlighted. There were a lot of people, they were laughing at me.
yeah,
They, they thought, what's this idiot doing? But
it's proved to be good so far.
there you go.
So
So far, so good.
hopefully for your sake, they can keep it up.
Hope so. So we'll go through some players that affected the results. So running back one for me, I had Jonathan Taylor had a backed his good form up last week, scoring 32.8 points compared to Darren's running back Derrick Henry. He's in a bit
Yeah,
of a quiet patch, Derrick Henry, only scoring 10 points this week. He scored 3 last week, so
yeah. The last couple of weeks has been great. Had a few fumble issues,
he has 3
which
fumbles in a row.
which I know Max isn't very happy with at the moment.
That was Max's loyal Baltimore Ravens fan.
He
So
was he was saying last night that he has a Derrick Henry jersey on the way and he wants to email Fanatics to tell him to just return it. He doesn't want it anymore.
there you go, straight off the press, jumping off Derrick Henry there. Move on to the wide receiver position. So I had AJ Brown from the Philadelphia Eagles. Slow start to the year, very slow start to the year, but he's come good this week, scoring 22.9 points compared to Mike Evans of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, scoring 13, which Darren had.
Yeah, that's going to be a big loss for him as well. Mike Evans missing the next few weeks
Oh, really, is it?
with his hamstring. So I've got Darren this week, so hopefully that works
Oh,
in my favour.
there you go. And then I've got M. Harrison scoring 7.4 points. Marvin Harrison, that is, to M. Pittman. Is that Michael Pittman from the
Yeah,
Indianapolis Colts scoring
Michael Pittman.
19 points? From
Yeah,
yeah.
Marv
So
off.
yeah.
Marv's off to a bit of a slow start.
Yeah,
So
absolutely.
far
Yeah. I
this
might
year.
look to ship him off somewhere. But from
I'd-
the lowest scoring member of my team to the second highest scoring member of my team, Mark Andrews from the Baltimore Ravens at the tight end, scoring 27 points compared to Darren's tight end, Sammy Laporta, who were head to head in this game on Monday night, our Tuesday morning. Sammy Laporta scoring 7 points.
Mark Andrews absolutely turned back the clock this week.
Winding back the clock. Thinking he had Joe Flacco as the
Yeah,
quarterback there. Oh,
two
there you go.
touchdowns.
So
Can't complain.
I moved to 2-1, and Darren moves to 1-2, and we'll see how the ladder shapes up
Yeah,
soon.
it's going to be interesting.
Yeah. Moving on to our next game, we had Fatties, who was coming in 0-2 against Blue Ballers Musti, who was our ladder leader, coming in at 2-0. And Max scored a solid 105 compared to Musti's 118. So Musti getting the win here, but was fraught with danger for a little bit, Robbie.
This is the one that Max let it get away from him. So he ended up losing by 13 in the end, and about 5 minutes before the Chargers game started, which was I think 6:05 our time, he'd taken American Hampton out of his lineup to replace him with Jameson Williams. Hampton went off for 25, and JMO had six, I think it was. So if he would have just left it as it was, Max would have ended up walking away with the win this week.
There you go.
So he won't be happy about that one for a while, I don't think.
Maybe the demons from last week when Anthony had that clutch fumble for me to get the win was in his head, and he changed his team on a whim. So
Yeah.
yeah. So we'll go through some players who affected the results. So Max was running back Travis Etienne from the Jacksonville Jaguars, scoring 11 points compared to. Now, this player was probably the most talked about fantasy player. Who's going to take him? Where are they going to take him? But Christian McCaffrey's put in a good start to the year, scoring 24 points.
Yeah. You know what? As much as we gave it to Musti on draft day about that pick, if McCaffrey stays healthy, which is obviously a big if, but if he does stay healthy, Musti might be laughing his way into the playoffs this year.
Yeah. I'm not saying this pick will win in the championship, but it's a pick like this that can win you the championship. Bold,
100%.
aggressive picks.
100%.
Yeah. So McCaffrey won that matchup. We'll move on to the wide receiver position. We got Nico Collins from Max's team scoring 22 points compared to Terry McLaurin. Is he on the Commanders scoring 10
Yeah.
points?
Yep. I know Nico during his game he had a 50-yard touchdown, and I don't think I've ever seen Max as happy as he was when he seen Nico score there. He was up and about dancing, and yeah, he was real excited, but obviously it didn't end up working out in his favor in the end.
Yeah. Nico, a slow start to the year, so hopefully it's something for him to build off coming into
Yeah.
week 4. So the next, again, the wide receiver position, we got Lad McConkey from the Chargers scoring 8 points compared to Jay Smith in Jigba scoring 20 points. Is that how you say it? In Jigba.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Jason, he's looked good to start the year as well.
From the Giants, correct?
Seahawks.
Seahawks, sorry.
Yeah,
Seahawks.
he's looked good to start the year. I think he was probably a few managers were probably scared away from him on draft day due to Sam Darnold being his quarterback.
Yeah,
But Darnold's looked okay as well. So I think JSN is a good pick. And again, another good pick by Musti, which is surprising.
absolutely. So then we'll move on to the tight end position. Max actually won this position. He's got Jake Ferguson from the Dallas Cowboys against Kyle Pitts. Must have Kyle Pitts. Ferguson scoring 21 and Pitts scoring 7. So pretty good performance by his tight end there, Robbie.
Yeah, it was impressive for Max. Like that was without a touchdown as well. Ferguson was just an absolute target hog for Dak. And yeah, you take that every day of the week.
Absolutely, mate. So there you go. Musti beats Max. Musti goes to 3-0 and Max goes to 1-2. We'll move on to the next game. We got Lucas.
0-3 for Max.
Oh, sorry, yes. 0-3. We'll move on to the next game. We got Lucas, Bellows Saints, coming in, was 1-1 against Jamin's Naj Mahal, 0-2. Now, you played Jamin last week, and we broke the news. Well, we didn't break the news, but he unfortunately had Joe Burrow as quarterback, and he's probably out for the rest of fantasy. So he's had
Yeah.
to shuffle his team, and it was a pretty good performance from his team. He was a bit stiff to lose here.
Yeah,
The high
100%.
scoring affair,
100% he
Lucas
was.
scoring 124 and Jamin scoring 117.
Yeah, well, 117. They would have beaten most teams this week. I think I scored 116, and I worked out I would have still beat 6 teams. So it's a bit unlucky for Jamin,
Yep, there's
which
only 2 teams that scored under 100 points this week. So
yeah,
it was overall a pretty good round of fantasy.
yeah, but yeah, unlucky week for Jamin, and at the moment that's sounding like the story of his season.
And I got Jamin this week, so
Ooh,
see how we go. But a few of the players that shaped the result, we got running back. Is it Kyron Williams from the Rams
yep.
scoring 19 points compared to Alvin Kamara, 6 points. So Lucas had Kyron Williams and Jamin had Kamara.
And yeah, it's obviously underwhelming performance by Alvin Kamara, which may have led to why Jamin has traded him away this week, which we'll touch on a bit later.
We'll go
But
through that. Yep,
if Kamara could have just been his normal self, that might have been enough in the end to get Jamin over the line. So,
absolutely. We'll move on to the other running backs that they had. So Lucas had Bashawn Robinson from the Falcons scoring 16 points compared to Jamin's Saquon Barkley. Slow start to the year for Barkley, scoring 9 points. So
yeah,
there you go. He's won both running back slots there, Lucas, which undoubtedly shaped the game.
100% it did. And yeah, slow start for Barkley. I know Jamin was real excited when Saquon fell to pick 7
Hmm.
on draft day, but maybe it's looking like he fell there for a reason.
You know why he fell? Because he was highlighted.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now moving on to the wide receiver position. Now, Lucas, after this player scoring 1 point last week, Cortland Sutton whopping 23.8 points
Yeah,
for
that
Lucas, compared
that
to Jamin
definitely.
had Drake London. Slow start to the year. Jamin did say this guy's on the trade block. Drake London scoring 10 points.
Yeah, it is a slow start. Obviously, I think Penix being his quarterback may be the contributor to that,
Yeah,
and that's another guy that Jamin decided to part ways with this week, along with
absolutely.
Kamara. So we'll touch on that a bit
Yeah.
later. Thoughts on that?
And then the other wide receiver position, we got W. Robinson from the Giants. I'm not sure what his first name is.
One Dale,
Wandale Robinson scoring 3 points compared to George Pickens. Is he on the Jets?
Cowboys.
Cowboys, yeah. George Pickens scoring 17.8 points. Sorry, I got confused with Garrett Wilson there.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. It was a good performance from Pickens. It's kind of funny if you have a look at his week 2 and his week 3 stats. They're exactly identical. Same
yeah,
targets, same catches, same yards, same,
absolutely.
and one touchdown in each game. So he's just mirrored his performance from the week before.
There you go. He's in some good form. And also, we don't usually touch on the defense, but for this game, we have to. But
Yeah,
so Lucas had the Colts defense scoring a pretty good score, 13 points. That's pretty good for a defense.
you take that every week
Yeah.
out of defense.
But here we go. The Minnesota Vikings defense scoring an unheard of 30 points.
That's ridiculous.
Now, did they
That
have a few defensive touchdowns?
yeah, they had 2, and they were both by the same player.
There,
Isaiah Rodgers on the Vikings defense. He had an interception, of forced fumble, a fumble recovery, and 2 touchdowns.
there you go.
So he's absolutely carried that defense for Jamin this week.
Absolutely. He would have probably lost by a lot more if his defense scores like 10. Would have lost by.
Yeah. Hopefully they can't repeat that this week. They got the Steelers this week, so
Yeah, and I have
ho
the Steelers defense. So, yeah.
hopefully they have a negative performance for
Yeah,
Jamin
you're a
this
proud
week.
Steelers man. Yeah.
Yeah, 100%.
So, yeah. So now Lucas moves to 2-1, and Jamin Naj Mahal moves to the old goose egg and 0-3. Still looking for his first win.
Yeah,
Hopefully, it doesn't come this week. Hopefully.
for your sake, we're crossing fingers.
Yeah. And now we'll move on to probably the most talked about game by the 12 of us, by the group. Now, we all saw the audio last week. We all heard the audio. Mick G, he was pretty confident.
Yeah,
Didn't
yeah.
have,
He
he
had
had
a
a few
few
choice
harsh
words to say
words.
about Jack.
Yep.
Now, did his words back up his team? And they did not, unfortunately. Mick G's, the no Jordan he loves, scoring 105 points compared to the Chuka Leaders Jacks scoring 110. It's a close
Yeah.
game. Yeah,
Uh, Zay Flowers really let down Mickey on Monday Night Football.
absolutely. We will
He,
hear from him later.
he had Amon-Ra St. Brown and Zay Flowers heading into that game with Jack having no one left.
Yeah.
Didn't need too much from him and just couldn't get the job done.
He needed 28,
Yeah.
28 combined.
Which going into that game, you'd think 9 times out of 10 you're going to win that.
Absolutely. So we'll go through a few of the players that shaped the game. From the running back positions, Nick Chubb scoring 7. He also had Breece Hall scoring 9. But Woody had Tony Pollard scoring 13.9 points. And is it Jalen Williams scoring 12?
Javonte
Williams scoring 12, 12.2. So there you go. Jack's won both the RB1 and RB2. So
that's pretty much the difference in the matchup.
yeah, but Mick has won 2 out of the 3 wide receivers. But we'll know why he lost by looking at the scores.
Yeah.
So Mick had Tyreek Hill scoring 15. He had Amon-Ra St. Brown scoring 20. And he had Zay Flowers scoring 3.
Yeah.
Compared to Jack having T. Higgins scoring 2. He had Puka scoring 22. And he had Neighbours scoring 3.
Yeah, and you're not going to get that score out of Neighbours most weeks, so
No,
it's the one that Mick's let go here, unfortunately,
absolutely.
which
So
was the story of his season a year ago.
story of the season. So before that, he was 1-1. Now he moves to 1-2. And then Jack was obviously 2-0, and now he moved to 3-0.
Yeah, Jack's looking good, trying to defend that title this year. It's gonna be a hard beat this year, I think.
Absolutely. He's always there about.
Yeah, Mr. Consistent for sure.
So we'll move on to our next game. We got Team Malawa, Nags, coming into this game 1-1 against Sora's team. It's also coming into this game 1-1. Now, both these teams scored under 100 points, so it was a slugfest. Nags' team scoring 94 and Sora's team scoring 99. Very close. Only 5 in it.
The whole of Monday for us, it was looking like Nags was going to end up running away with it. At one point, Sora's team was only projected mid-70s. And then just a couple of late performances from Keenan Allen and Jameer Gibbs has been enough to get him over the line this week.
Absolutely. That's a good segue, Robbie. We're about to talk about them. So we'll start with the running back positions. Both these managers, they split at 1-1. Nags had Kenneth Walker scoring 18 points compared to, is it Chase Brown from Cincinnati?
Yeah.
Scoring 6 points. So, and then Nags had Genty. He had Genty from the Raiders scoring 6 points compared to, like you said before, Jameer Gibbs, Sora's team, scoring 26. Monumental effort.
Yeah. That's all he needed in the end. You love when you can get one of your guys that's not your quarterback scoring multiple touchdowns. That's always going to help you.
So there you go. They split it, but obviously Sora comes up clutch there with the win. And we'll move on to the wide receiver position. So we got Nags had Justin Jefferson from the Vikings scoring 12 points compared to Sora had Keenan Allen. He found some throwback form, scoring 19 points.
Yeah, Jeddah's not off to the best start this year either. Obviously, there's a little bit of a quarterback problem in Minnesota, it seems, between JJ McCarthy and even though Carson Wentz did play well this week, he's still not the best quarterback to have for your top guy. So we'll see if that changes over the next few weeks or if Nags may have to see if he can move on from Jeddah's.
We will have to keep an eye on that. And then we got the other wide receiver position. We got Brian Thomas scoring 7 points compared to Devontae Adams scoring 14. So Sora's on both here.
Yeah, Brian Thomas definitely not the best stats of the year either. And we'll touch on that again later when we talk about some of the trades that have gone down because he has already been moved this year.
Yeah. And then that takes us into the last game, which is your game. But Steel Curtains coming into the game 2-0 against Blake. Route 88 coming into 1-1. Now, it was talked about to be a shootout, high-scoring affair. Both teams scored over 100, but it wasn't the high 130s that we were obviously predicting. But obviously, Robbie, you scoring 116 compared to Blake's 125. So you just went down in a narrow loss.
Yeah.
Just quick thoughts on it, mate.
Uh, obviously not the best feeling in the world going down to Blake after I did I did speak a little bit about it last week. I was pretty confident heading into it,
Absolutely.
but he does have a good team. He does have a good team, and 116. Like as I touched on earlier, I still would have beat six other teams this week, so I'm not too worried about the state of my team.
No, I think you're in a pretty good position. Obviously, if you start the year 2-0, you're heading in the right direction.
Yeah.
So we'll go through some of the players that shaped it. Now, quarterback position, obviously, you have Lamar Jackson. He scored 27 points. He had a pretty big game compared to Blake's quarterback. He is a Cowboy fan, and he has a few Cowboy boy players.
Yeah.
Dak Prescott scoring 12 points. It's been a rough start for Dak this year.
It has, and while that Cowboys game was going on, Dak threw two late picks in the fourth quarter, and so obviously taking 4 points off his score. I thought that might have been able to help me a little bit in the end, but
I hate to say it. So
wasn't true.
you won that position. Then we move on to the running back position. So the running backs I've chosen, obviously you have Josh Jacobs from the Green Bay Packers, who you acquired in a trade from
Yeah,
no Jordan Love, scoring 12 points. But he had James Mason, is it, from the Viking?
Jordan Mason.
Jordan Mason, sorry, from the Vikings, scoring 23 points.
Yeah, well, I was expecting that type of performance out of Mason this week. Obviously, we've went starting at quarterback, and then Aaron Jones going down last week. I thought the ball was going to be in Mason's hands a lot this week. He had a late touchdown, which really hurt, and then Josh Jacobs picked him up last week from Mick. I knew that this week wasn't going to be a great week playing against a very stout Browns defense, so that's more of a long-term play, but. Yeah, obviously not the best in the end because that was pretty much the difference in our matchup in the end, the Mason versus Jacobs difference.
Probably. Yeah, and we'll go through the wide receivers. I've chosen two. Obviously, you have Jamar Chase. You selected him with the first pick in the draft.
Yeah.
Scoring 8 at a quiet week, scoring 8.
Yeah.
8.9. And this is rare. I don't think I've seen this before. Blake had CeeDee Lamb. He won, and his player did not score a point.
Yeah. Yes.
Did he get hurt at the start of the game?
Yeah, got hurt at the start of the game, tried to go back on, had one snap and went hobbling off again with his high ankle sprain.
Yeah.
That makes the loss hurt even a little bit more, knowing that CD, one of his top players, didn't score. You want to take advantage of that, and obviously I couldn't this week.
Yeah, and then the other wide receiver, you got McMillan, who was on your team, scoring 7 points, compared to Garrett Wilson on Blake, scoring a whopping 24. So,
yeah,
the Mason and the Wilson matchup probably got Blake over the line there.
Yeah, this week. It was more the week of what ifs for me.
Yeah, absolutely.
Unfortunately.
So you now move to 2-1, and Blake now moves to also 2-1. So plenty of positive signs there for Blake and his team. So
yeah,
see how he shapes up this week. So, and that was the week 3 review. So we thank Robbie for his in-depth analysis. So you keep up with all the games. You rarely miss a game. You wake up early and you do the work. So
at 3 a.m. wake ups.
Yeah.
Next week it'll probably be the Steelers played 11:30 Sunday night our time, so it's probably going to.
That's right. It's in Dublin, isn't it?
So it's probably it's in Dublin, so it's probably going to end up being a no sleep night on Sunday.
Yeah, straight through
into Monday.
Yeah.
So yeah, we try to keep up with it as best we can.
Yeah. So that takes us through to our ladder. We'll break down the ladder positions, who's moved where, and what's it looking like. So we'll start off with who's moved up the most positions from week 2 to week 3. So 2 players, one is myself and Lucas, have both moved up 3 places.
Yeah.
From last week. So I've moved up from 8th to 5th. So I'm currently in the playoffs. If the season finished today, I would be 5th.
That's what you want.
That's it. And Lucas started in 10th And now he's moved up to 7. So he's on the border of the playoffs. So it's top 6 because we have 12. So, yeah, make the playoffs. So some good signs here. So hopefully both of us can keep improving and be a player in the playoffs.
That's it. It'll be interesting to see over the next few weeks how it starts to shape out. See what teams are looking like they're going to be locks and what teams look like they're no chance of making it.
They need to get aggressive at the trade table before the
Yeah,
trade deadline closes.
100%. There's definitely a few teams in that boat at the moment.
Yeah. And then obviously we have the opposite side of the coin, moved down the most. And we've got Darren from the PHSAs. He was on top of the ladder after week 1.
Yeah.
And he's dropped 3 places. So he's gone from 7th to 10th, which is third last. And Mick G's moved down 3 places as well. He's gone from 6th, being in the playoffs, to now 9th.
Yeah. Well, with any luck, I'll be able to send Darren down a few more spaces this week.
There you go. And moving on, we also still have 2 undefeated teams, which are Musty and Woody. But we also have 2 winless teams, Jamin and Max.
Yeah.
Sora got his first win.
There's a few stories to come from that. Obviously, Chris, Musty, everyone on draft day, he copped it a fair bit for some of his decisions and was expected to be one of the bottom feeders this year. To start off 3-0, you can't be happier than that. I think he'll be as Jack said a couple of weeks ago, he'll be holding those receipts in, ready to go for if he keeps his form up. And
Absolutely.
then on the other end of it, like Max, usually like one of the guys who you can pencil into making the playoffs, usually pretty consistent. This year, not the best start for him. And
No, it's not. And we'll go through where Max is on the ladder in a sec. So we'll go the top 6 first, and we'll get your thoughts on the top 6 just quickly. So we got Musty and Woody, 1 and 2. Musty's 1, Woody 2. So they're unchanged, 3-0. So we said before, they're 2 undefeated sides. In 3 and 4, we got Blake at 3, and we got you at 4th.
Yep.
Both at 2 and 1, and then we got myself at 5th, 2 and 1, and we got Nags in the 6th spot, 2 and 1. So that would be the playoffs if that ended today.
Yeah. Hopefully there isn't too much more movement as long as I can stay in that top 6 throughout the year, I'll be happy. Don't want to drop out of it.
I think we got 5 of the original 6 in there too.
Yeah. Yeah. Just swap out Max and Nags, and
that's it.
That makes up the 6 from the first year.
There you go. So just going through those again. So it's Musty 1, Woody 2, Blake 3, Robbie 4, Miller, myself 5, and Nags 6. Yeah. And then we'll go through the bottom 6 out of the playoffs. Starting with 7th, we got Lucas. He's 1 and 2. Then we got Sora, also 1 and 2. He's 8th. And then we got Mick G, also 1 and 2, 9th. Then we got Darren, 10th, also 1 and 2. And then the bottom 2, the winless Warriors. We got Jamin and Max. Jamin 11th and Max 12th, because obviously Max has scored the least points.
Yeah. Well, the odds would say starting 0 and 3, it's going to be tough to work your way out of that.
Yeah, and you need everything to go your way, literally.
Yeah, so at the moment, you'd think it'd be one of them 2 to end up finishing last and being subject to the punishment.
Yeah.
It'll be interesting to see if either of them can climb their way out of that position or not.
Yeah. So just going through that again, we got Lucas in 7th, Sora 8th, Mick G 9, Darren 10, Jamin 11, and Max is in 12th spot. So that is the ladder breakdown for week 3. We'll look forward to next week to see how it changes, who's dropped down and who's stayed the same, or who's moved down, and who's still undefeated or who's still looking for their first win. So see how we go. And now we'll move on to the manager's report. So we'll hear from Musty. He's kindly sent in a video. We'll hear from Blake. He sent through some audio. Also, Mick has sent through some audio.
Oh, I'm excited for that.
Woody promised to send in a video, but he's obviously forgotten because his matchup was much talked about, and I'd like to hear his response. He did send a funny video in the group chat doing the
Yeah,
Fortnite owl dance. So
yeah, that was good by him. That
that
was good by
that
him.
was good content. And Nags, Max, and Lucas all sent in messages, same as last week. So
Maybe when you go back over it, you should add in that video of Jack for the
yeah, I
viewers
probably
to
will. We'll start with Max. Robbie, just getting your reactions to this. He says he had a shit week, and if he doesn't win this week, he's going to have to make some moves to improve his
see.
team.
Yeah, well, he definitely will. If he drops to 0-4, that's definitely not where you want to be. I felt the brunt of that a few years ago when I started 0-11.
Oh, that's right.
So if he doesn't want to go down that same path, he's gonna have to change something, I think.
Yeah. And then we'll move on to Nags. He's sent in that he's spewing that his team were poor. They were underperformed. He nearly got out of jail. He nearly got lucky, but he gave credit to Jameer Gibbs in getting Sora over the line. So yes, he was poor, but he's humble in defeat. That's what we like.
My question off of that is it underperforming? He's had 2 weeks where he scored 90, then obviously had the one good week where he beat Blake.
Yeah.
Was it more that the week that he beat Blake, he overperformed?
Is he just glossing it over the cracks there?
Yeah. So
Interesting. See how he goes this week.
that'll be the question that needs to be answered.
Yeah. And then Sora's kindly sent in. He's happy to have his first win, especially against Nags. He's looking to build on it, and he wasn't confident in Gibbs heading into the week, and it proved it was the difference in the end. So thank you to Max, Nags, and Sora for sending those messages in. And now we'll get to the more fun stuff, the more funnier stuff. Some videos. We'll start with Musti.
It was good to get the win against Max. He's always a tough opponent to beat. I've had my struggles against him, and it's sweet to get a close win as well. So on to next week. Keep the undefeated record going, and but it's a good position to be 3-0 and shape up the season. And as long as I make the playoffs with a decent record, I'm happy because I know I can make some moves in there and go for the championship. So happy with the team, happy with how it's performing, and even on a down week, scoring 118, I'm wrapped.
Obviously, Robbie, just get your quick take on that video.
Yeah.
What we just watched then.
Is there any chance that Musti can record his video anywhere else but a noisy bowling alley?
Yeah.
But
not ideal.
Musti's confident, as he should be. 3-0. Yeah. That's exactly where you want to be after 3 weeks. So credit to Musti.
Absolutely.
See if he can keep it up.
A few of the points I wrote down is he's humble, he was confident, and it was sort of a professional sort of video, just sort of not sort of hyping himself up a bit and not sort of He's happy with where he's at. Now we'll go on to Blake.
Just want to say great game to Robbie this week. It was tough fought. I really thought Lamar was going to get him over the hump towards the end. I would have scored 150 if it wasn't for CD going out early against the Bears. So we'll put him on ice for the next couple of weeks. We'll chuck Kamara into the flex after the big trade for Drake London, a consensus top 10 wide receiver at the start of this year. So we'll go from there. I'll be pretty disappointed if I don't finish top 2 this year, and Musi, you better watch out this week, as I'm going to climb my way up the ladder and get to 3-1. Also, Brody Nags' team is probably the worst in the league. He's got one lucky win against me and scored 90 both other weeks. So look out for him being the bottom team at the end of the year and jumping on his own fucking comedy night or podcast.
After we've watched that, Robbie, what do you think of that? Or heard that? Not watched it.
I appreciate him giving his respect to me after he's humble in his victory, which is very surprising from Blake. He's not normally one to be humble about it. Again, he's confident in his team. He's ready to beat Musti, but you can tell by his words he's ready to beat Musti, and obviously throwing a bit of shade at Nags there at the end. So we'll see if that's something that comes back to bite him, or if he backs up his words here.
Yeah. So he was happy with the move that he made on the trade table. Obviously, that's his favourite spot, is the trade table. He loves the trade table. He's still confident. Yeah. He's still confident in finishing top 2.
It's a big call.
Yeah. And he's called out Musti and Nags, also Team Alawa, to finish last. And he's also plays Musti this week. So
I'm hoping he gets over the line against Musti, because then that inches me closer to first place as well if I can get over the line this week.
And then we'll move on to the he's probably already a Hall of Famer on this podcast already.
Yeah.
What we look forward to, it's the highlight of my week. I know it is.
Yeah, it's
Hearing
probably
how Mick went in fantasy this week.
Yeah.
Now, here's the audio of him outlining how he went, summarising his week 3 performance.
This is exactly what I mean when I say Jack is kissed on the dick. All I needed was 28 points. 28 points from St. Brown and Zay. Easy. All right, they're going head to head. Fucking Amanas finally gets up to 20. Zay gives me 3 points on a deciding game. You know how fucking irritating that is, especially to that. Because he's been kissed on the dick since the comp started. It's like he caters the rules on his secret committee to adjust it for everyone besides him. He doesn't play by the rules. And I've had to have a meeting with Brad and Jesse just to see how I can get really under his skin. So hopefully that works, but we'll bounce back. I'm so sick of fantasy already. It's week 3. It's bullshit. I think I got Lucas. Utmost respect to him. He's a great man, but yeah, man, it's bullshit.
Why'd you make of that, Robbie?
You can always count on Mick to throw off a few choice words.
Yeah, absolutely.
Obviously not happy that his team couldn't back up his words from last week that he directed towards Jack. So we'll see where no Jordanary love goes from here, sitting at 1 and 2. But he didn't throw shade at Lucas. So hope maybe he's learnt his lesson from last week and decided maybe I should back off a little bit this week.
Maybe, but it's good that he puts himself out there to cop the ridicule. He's probably the Kane Corns of the show.
Yeah, 100%. So, but
Stephen A. Smith,
it's the character that the league needs.
Yeah, Mick G. So he's always confident. He's a confident bloke.
You're never going to take that away from him.
No, but he's also what he said. He's having a crisis meeting. With 2 individuals. He's obviously joking, of course, but with 2 individuals that used to be in the league.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing what the response out of that is.
Yeah, absolutely. So there you go. That was the week 3 managers report. Really good to have so many of the managers kindly give enough time in their day to send me a message or send a quick little snippet. So thank you for that.
One of the good parts of the week.
Absolutely. I always have a giggle when I'm listening to them or reading them. It's good fun.
100%.
Now we'll move on to the categories, probably the best segment on the show.
Yep.
The categories. So we'll go through the first category. It's obviously named after myself. The Miller Award for the high scoring bench.
Yeah.
Because in seasons past, it's usually always me who forgets to put a player in or goes to bed and not reading the injury report, and you have a tight end who's questionable or doubtful. That's where that come from. And it was Lucas this week.
Yeah, his bench went off this week.
Yeah. I don't have the players in front of me, but I know the score. It was 84.2 points.
Yeah, well, I know he said in the group chat after his win, imagine if I started Hunter Henry.
Right, Hunter Henry from the Patriots, 29 points he scored.
As much as Lucas wants to claim that, there was absolutely no way he was ever starting Hunter Henry over Brock Bowers.
No, absolutely.
So
it would have been a bold choice.
Oh, 100% it would have been.
Yeah.
And I'm sure if he would have done that, there would have been a few managers investigating the availability of Brock Bowers on the trade market.
Or also probably the bookmakers in
Yeah,
in the game. But
seeing if there was some tanking going on.
yeah, but no, we're joking, of course, about that.
Respectable league.
Yeah, and so I wouldn't say well done to Lucas, but commiserations for having the high scoring bench with 84 points. It was Nags last week, so
yeah,
with similar score, and both actually won the game, which is usually, well, more cases than not, usually it's the loser who has the high scoring bench.
Yeah, exactly, and they end up losing because of the wrong decisions. But both these managers over the last 2 weeks made the right decisions, and they still walked away with the highest scoring bench.
Absolutely. That moves on to our next award. Sorry, it's the Fatties Award, the Max Award for the high scoring bench player. Now, Robbie, Jack and Musty and myself spoke about Max's quarterback play.
Yeah,
Starting the wrong quarterback.
yeah. Well, we'll touch on it later, the trade that he made last week, but he has tried to make the effort to rectify the issue.
He's safe this week, Max. He's safe.
Yeah.
It's all good, mate. You're not the winner of the award. The award goes to David Montgomery from the Detroit Lions, which Sora had him on the bench. So Team Sora and Montgomery scoring 29 points on the Pine.
It's a bit bittersweet for me because I'd obviously traded away Montgomery a few weeks ago. So in one mind, I'm like, I wish I wouldn't have done that. But at the same time, I was never going to start him anyway. So I'm almost happy that he's not on my team and was sitting on my bench with that type of performance.
There you go. Hindsight's a wonderful thing, mate, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly.
So commiserations again to Team Sora having Montgomery on the bench, but he still won. So there you go. Another example of a person having a high-scoring bench player and winning. So not all doom and gloom for Team Sora.
Yeah.
And that brings us to our next award, the Tour Award for the lowest round scoring team. Now, this goes to Team Malawa, Brody, scoring 94.32.
Yeah.
It's the first one we've had in the 90s. Obviously, the last few weeks, we've had some teams scoring the low 80s.
So it's hopefully it just means the league's shaking out to be a bit more even.
Absolutely. Well, especially with 12 players in it, you'd think it's even.
Yeah.
Because the good players usually spread around a bit more.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So, commiserations to Nags. Hopefully, you can improve on next week.
Yeah.
And then I said this before, only 2 teams scored under 100 for the round. So, it's pretty good.
Yeah, and it ended up all being in that one matchup between
Absolutely, yeah.
Sorry,
winning 99.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then obviously still the Tour Award for the lowest round scoring player. Some team. Now moving on to the player, which we touched on this guy before when we're going through the breakdown. It was in your game, Robbie, but Blake had CD Lamb as wide receiver, scoring 0.0. No score. Goose egg.
Obviously a bit unlucky with him getting injured really early on, but
absolutely.
That's how fantasy football can be sometimes. Sometimes it's a harsh game.
Absolutely, mate. It's our second goose egg of the year.
Yeah.
With Xavier Worthy. Nags had him in week 1, so winning this award. So commiserations to CD. I hope he sends through a little video message accepting his award, but he probably won't. He probably won't even see this. So
that'd be real nice.
Yeah, but commiserations to him. Hopefully he's not out for a long time and can get back to playing some good football that he can.
Yeah, that's it.
And moves on to our next award, which is the Christian McCaffrey Award, the CMC Award, for the highest scoring team and highest scoring player. Because, like in seasons past, if you have Christian McCaffrey, you're obviously going to go places in the game.
Yeah, for sure.
And deep into fantasy.
Fantasy cheat code he was back in his day.
Yeah, I unfortunately took Mahomes at the first pick instead of McCaffrey. I think Jack won it that year too.
Yeah, he did. I think I took Aaron Rodgers in the first round that year. So
we've improved in our draft ability.
That's it.
Yeah. That's it. So the CMC Award, high scoring team and high scoring, it goes to one individual, and he's on this Zoom call. It is myself, high scoring team and the high scoring player. So. Obviously, my team, the Hammers Henchmen, scoring 150. Just raising the bat for 150. And I had Jonathan Taylor running back from the Colts.
Yeah.
32 points.
You're probably a bit ridiculed on draft day taking him in the first round. We thought there was probably better value where you're picking, but he might be the RB1 this year.
Yeah.
So it's looking like that was a real nice pick for you, Miller.
See how that unfolds
Yeah.
at the end of the season, hopefully. And then obviously we'll just touch on the Vikings defense. We don't usually put the defense, but we spoke about it before. Like, you have to put it in. You have to make a note of this. Scoring 30 is unheard of.
Yeah. No, and yeah, as I said before, we can all thank Isaiah Rodgers for that. That was basically off his own hands and feet.
Absolutely. And then that moves us on to the Baltimore Ravens Award, Choker of the Round. Now, the person who gets this award, I've just had a simple reason. They were the only undefeated team to lose to a winless team, and that goes to Nags. It goes to Brody, manager of Team Malawa. So he lost to Sora, who was 0-2. So that's the reasoning.
Yeah.
I don't think you can debate that. But
And then obviously the lowest scorer of the round as well.
yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
That adds to it as well. I'm more than happy with Nags claiming that award for this week.
So commiserations to him. And well done on Blake. Blake was last week's winner of that award, and he improved. So
bounce back.
Moves on to our last award, the Darren Woodsford Award, the overachiever always makes the playoffs award. And this goes same reason, but in reverse. It goes to Team Sora. He was the only winless team to beat an undefeated team.
Yeah.
So a cheerio to him. I know he's watching. Well done to you, Sora. Well done to you, Sora.
Well done, Sora.
And that brings a close to the categories. Hopefully all the recipients of the awards can improve on next week. If it was a slightly negative award and if it was a positive award, hopefully they can build on it. So
sure.
Cheer to all the award winners there. Now we'll move on to the round 4 preview, and we'll get some tips from Robbie himself.
Yep.
Okay, moving on to the round 4 preview.
Big
week in fantasy this week. Round 4, the first month will be done and dusted. We'll start off with the Hammers Henchman against Naj Mahal. So me against Jamin.
Yeah, that's a big matchup. That's a big matchup for multiple reasons. Obviously, for you, try to move 3-1. A lot of people had you as the favourite for the wooden spoon going into the season. Starting 3-1 in your first 4 weeks, as that puts you in a real good spot to escape that. And then obviously Jamin fighting to get his first win, try steer clear from Max if he can for that bottom spot. This will be a big matchup this week.
Absolutely.
So
who are you going with, mate?
With that being said, unfortunately for you, Miller, I'm going to take Jamin in an upset to get his first win of the year.
Jamin in an upset. Yeah. Heard it here first. Another one right in the off. Another one. We'll see how we go.
He's got to
if anyone was to lose this game, it'd be me. He's starting with 2 good wins and then dropping this one.
He's got to get a win eventually.
Yeah.
So we'll take Jamin there.
See how it. Not everyone can go 0-11, mate.
Yeah,
not everyone can do that.
Exactly.
Only the greats, mate.
Yeah.
And then we'll move on to our next one. We got Ballo Saints. We got Lucas against Mick G. No Jordan Love. Another big matchup here.
Yeah, this is a big one. Both teams 1 and 2 trying to get back to 500. I think both teams are probably through the first 3 weeks have probably underperformed from what we were expecting going into the year. Obviously, the fantasy website projected Mick to finish second, and was one of the favourites going into the year. And Lucas had a quietly good draft.
Well, just speaking of that projection, they predicted me to go 0-14, so not to win a game, and I won 2 out of the first 3.
Well, they're known for not the best predictions. The year I started 0-11 and ended up finishing 3-11, they projected me on draft day to go 14-0 and finish first.
I'm pretty sure it's the projection. It's the week-to-week projection. Is that right?
Yeah. So that year they predicted me to go 14-0, finish first, and obviously went 3-11, finished last. And then last year they projected Mick to finish first, and he finished last as well. Yeah. So they're notoriously known for not the best projections.
Who was first this year projected?
That was also me. So
you? Oh, no. Could that be
So
writing on the wall?
yeah,
Did you like?
I don't know, between the fantasy app projecting me first and the notorious number one pick curse that we've had in the past few years, I've as much as I liked my team I drafted, I wasn't overly confident because of that. But we've started okay, so hopefully we're avoiding that this year.
Sorry, we'll go back to the game. We got
Yeah,
Lucas versus Mick. Who are you
a
going
little
for?
bit sidetracked there, but I'm gonna take Lucas this week to beat Mick, move to 2-2, and never know, we might get another crash out from Mick next week.
Yeah, yeah. Stay tuned because no doubt he'll send in another little clip. So moving on to our next game, we have Team Malawa, Brody against the Chuckalitas, Jack.
Yeah.
Nags 2-1 against Woody 3-0. So it's another playoff shaper.
Yeah, a little house rivalry there as well. I'm sure the two of them will be on edge all week, and one of them won't be talking to the other one next week
Yeah.
after the matchup's done. But
Pushing the app pretty rapidly. You would think.
yeah, I'm gonna take Jack here, but
Yeah.
I think his team's a level above Nags is at this point in the year, so we'll take Jack to win probably comfortably in the end.
Sounds good. Move on to our next game. We got the Blue Ballers, Musty against Route 88 Blake. So Musty obviously 3-0 as well, and Blake 2-1. So like I said before, it's another playoff shaper. We got some
Yeah.
big matchups.
Big matchups this week. Obviously Blake was talking a little bit before about how he's ready to hand Musty his first loss, but unfortunately, I think the loss of CD might be a little bit too big for Blake to overcome this week.
Yeah.
And as much as I want Blake to beat Musty this week for my own sake, I'm gonna take Musty to beat Blake this week and move to 4-0.
Musty to beat Blake. There you go. We'll move on to our next one. We got your game, Steel Curtain against Darren. Obviously, you're going to take yourself here.
Yeah, I'll take myself here, but I'm a little bit nervous because obviously I know Derrick Henry hasn't had the best couple of weeks over the past few, but if between him and Josh Allen, if they have similar performances to what they had in week one when the two of them played against each other, I might be in a bit of trouble. So we'll cross fingers that that won't happen, and can run through it comfortably, but there's a little bit of nervousness here.
Absolutely. No, that was my worry last week, seeing Derrick Henry score 3. You just know he's going to bounce back. He
Yeah,
only scored 13.
yeah, and well, especially after he fumbled with the game on the line as well, I'm a bit nervous he's coming out for vengeance this week.
There you go. Robbie to beat Darren. And then we got our last game of the game. We got Fatty's Max against Team Sora, Sora's team. So Max 0-3, Sora 1-2.
Yeah,
It's a big game as well.
Yeah, big game for near the bottom of the ladder.
Yeah.
I'm gonna take Sora.
Yeah.
I'll take Sora to beat Max, send Max to 0-4, and it's not the best position for Max to be in at this point in the year. So we'll see if he loses this week, what he's going to do to try and change his fortunes.
Absolutely. So there you go, just running through your tips. So you picked Jamin Naj Mahal to beat me, the Hammers Henchman. You've picked Lucas Bellows Saints to beat Mick G, No Jordan Love.
Yep.
You've picked Jack, the Chuckalitas, to beat Brody and Team Malawa. And you've tipped Musty, Team Blue Ballers, against Blake, Route 88. You've tipped, obviously, yourself against Darren, PHSA. And you've tipped Team Sora against Fatty's Max. So there you go.
Yeah, I'm happy with that. And hopefully we'll go for 6 for 6 and set the standard for the tipping on here.
There you go. That ties us in beautifully to the guest last week, Musty, how he fared in the tipping. So Jack in the first week was horrific. He tipped 2 out of 6.
Yeah.
And Musty, week 2, significantly better than Jack. Significantly better. 5 out of 6. He's got 5 out of 6. Nearly got them all.
And I'll apologise to Musty.
You were the one who let him down.
I was the only one that let him down last week. So apologies, Musty. Hopefully next time I can help you out if you're willing to tip me again.
Absolutely. So he tipped correctly. He tipped me correctly, Lucas, Sora, Musty, and Jack. So there you go. He's the best so far. So he's number 1. He's ranked number 1 on top. We've only had 2 guests, but yeah. Yeah. Now it's time for some trade talk, and
Yeah.
Robbie's got all the trades in front of him, and he's going to give a nice little breakdown of how the week's unfolded regarding
Yeah.
trades.
So over the past week, we've had 5 trades go down in the Burners League, which is helping shape up the next portion of the season. So early in the week last week, we had the Fatties make a trade with Team Moala. The Fatties traded away quarterback Jared Goff, wide receiver Brian Thomas Jr., and injured tight end George Kittle for Patrick Mahomes, Lad McConkey, and Harold Fannin Jr.
Mega trade there.
Yeah, so
Big
that's
names involved there.
a big trade. Max trying to shore up his quarterback position. A flip of 2 probably underperforming receivers to start the year, and Max handing Nags one of the better tight ends in the game when healthy. But obviously, Max starting the way he has, he hasn't really got the wiggle room to hold on to a tight end that's going to be on IR for the next 4 weeks.
Absolutely.
So that's a big trade. And yeah, do you have a projected winner out of that trade? Who do you think's walked away from that trade?
It's tough. So many big names, as I said before, involved in that.
Mm.
It's either going to go Max, he's going to capitulate, or it's going to work
Yeah.
gangbusters for him. I don't think it's going to work for him, so I think Nags will probably win that.
I'm on the same thought process as you. I think like Goff,
It was a panic trade.
yeah, Goff in that high-powered offense, I would have still trusted him to be my quarterback. Obviously, the Chiefs haven't got off to the best start, so Mahomes might be a bit rocky. And then I'm counting on BTJ to get back to some form. I know last year his form really only came when Mac Jones was the quarterback, not Trevor Lawrence, but I still think I'm banking on him to be good, even though I do think Ladd will be good for Max. And then obviously George Kittle's the big one. That's a massive upgrade over Harold Fannin. If George Kittle can get back healthy and stay healthy, I think Nags walks away the big winner of this trade.
100%, mate. 100%.
So, and then we'll move on to trade 2, which involved myself, the Steel Curtain, making a trade with Mick of No Jordinary Love. I parted ways with Brees Hall and Nick Chubb and was able to receive Josh Jacobs and Woody Marks. So I really like this trade for myself. I think I bought in on the better offense of the Packers with Josh Jacobs over the Jets offense with Brees Hall. I think Brees Hall's one of them players where it's 1 week he's going to get you 17 and the next week he's going to get you 5. So my thought was I didn't really want to deal with that, and I'd try get a player who's in a more steady offense and can count on his production a little bit more.
Big
So
move, Bob, by you. Running back strong.
yeah, that helps my back room out a bit having Jacobs and Bucky Irving now.
Yeah.
So hopefully that one pays off. And yeah, Mick obviously liked it. He wanted the extra depth at the position as he had Pacheco starting. Now he's starting Brees and Chubb. So we'll see how that works out for Mick.
Could be both teams win.
Yeah, it could be if Joe Mixon doesn't come back to play and Chubb remains the starter in Houston, that could end up working out for Mick. But for now, obviously, I'm going to say I'll walk away as the winner, but that's up to debate for everyone else. Trade 3 went down early Monday. We had Jack trading away T. Higgins to Blake for Emeka Egbuka.
Another
So
big trade.
yeah, that
1 for 1.
it is a big trade. Obviously, Joe Burrow going down. Jack didn't want to hold on to Higgins anymore
Yeah.
with Jake Browning as the quarterback. I think Jack walks away as the winner from here. I've seen Blake's not even starting T. Higgins this week after trading for him.
Yeah.
And Mike Evans going down, that's just going to boost Egbuka's production, you'd think.
Absolutely.
I think that's a good trade for Jack. And you never know. Blake's known for his team blowing up after making a trade. Could,
There you
could,
go.
could that trade be one that sent him in a downhill spiral?
Maybe.
Or it could be the next trade that we have, which also involved Blake. He traded away Garrett Wilson and Travion Henderson to Jamin Naj Mahal for Alvin Kamara and Drake London. So that's obviously a big trade. JMO trying to make a move to get him,
Nervous move from the bottom,
yeah,
panic, but sometimes they work out.
get himself out of that 0-3 spot.
Yeah.
And I know Blake was real high on this trade getting Kamara and London, but honestly, I think I'm leaning the way of the Garrett Wilson and Travion Henderson side.
Absolutely.
Because look, if Trayvon becomes the RB1 in New England, I think that's a runaway trade for Jamin, which I think he will, following Ramondre's 2 fumbles this past weekend.
Mm.
I think that's Trayvon's backfield to take over. So
You would think.
I think that's a good trade for JMO. So we'll see how that works out. And then the last trade that we had was Jack trading away Tony Pollard in a 1-for-1 swap with Sora for Chase Brown.
There you go.
I think this one's a bit of a wash, to be honest. I know Chase Brown had the second round value at the draft, and Tony Pollard was picked with a 7th round pick. So obviously, on draft day value alone, Jack walks away an absolute big winner out of this. If the Bengals can find a way to upgrade the quarterback position, I think Jack walks away an absolute winner, having Chase Brown. But for now, as things currently stand, I think it's a bit of a wash.
Yeah.
So,
100%.
but yeah, those are the 5 trades that have been made over the past week. So
Thanks for going through that for us, mate. I appreciate it.
we'll see how that shapes up the league going forward.
Interesting to see how week 4 unfolds with these new
Yeah,
and teams with some new players on it. So
100%.
see how they fall. So, and that was Trade Talk. Thanks, Robbie. Thank you, mate. It's time to move on to one of the most anticipated segments on the show. We like to finish with a bit of a rapid fire fun.
Yeah, I've been looking forward to this one.
Yeah.
So ready to go.
A pretty similar question. So
yeah,
we'll get started with the rapid fire. Most likely to finish last.
I'm gonna have to go Max. I think at this point, I think it's Max.
Most likely to go downhill after a trade.
The easy answer is Blake, but I'm gonna go a sneaky little outsider of Mick G.
Mick G. Well, there you go. We'll see if that comes up in his video next week.
Yeah.
The worst drafter of the season.
On draft day, I thought it was Chris. It was easy to say Chris on draft day.
That was the consensus one.
He's proven everyone wrong. So now for this season alone, I'm like, take away the past history. For this season alone, I'm gonna say Max.
The best drafter this season.
I would like to say myself, but I'm gonna say it's probably either Jack or Blake this year.
Jack or Blake. One NFL player to add to your AFL team a position. So who are you going to add to the Collingwood Magpies, mate?
Yeah, well, I've been thinking about this a bit after this question being posed over the last couple of weeks, and this might sound like a bit of an odd pick, but I'm going to go the Steelers' 3rd-string tight end Darnell Washington to play full forward.
Out of left field.
He's a 6'7" tight end. I think just chucking him in the goal square, it's gonna be hard to outmark him.
There you go. Maybe he could have got you over the line against the Lions, mate.
Yeah.
That's a straight out of left field, that one.
Yeah.
Favorite snack?
I don't mind a raspberry shortcake biscuit.
Oh, very nice.
Yeah, they go all right.
TV show binge at the moment. What TV show are you binging at the moment?
I've got nothing at the moment, but this might be a left field one as well. I just finished watching a series with my partner. It's called The Summer I Turned Pretty.
Oh yeah.
So that it was actually all right.
Yeah. Obviously one of the most talked about shows.
Yeah.
Just had the finale, season 3.
Yeah.
Are you Team Conrad or are you Team Jeremiah?
Team Conrad.
Team Conrad?
Yeah, you have to be.
Have to be. NFL player to keep an eye on this season.
I'm going to use my Steelers bias again here. The 1st-round rookie that we took, Derek Harmon, the defensive tackle, he just played his first game on the weekend. He got injured in the preseason. He was on a snap count against the Patriots, and he still walked away with a sack, 3 quarterback pressures, and when he was on the field, we only gave up 2.5 yards per carry in the run game.
Yeah,
So I think he's a massive addition to our defense.
absolutely. Overrated NFL player this season.
This is another one I've been thinking about because it's it's a bit hard to single out someone as being overrated, but I'm going to lean towards CJ Stroud.
Yeah, good call. I had him in fantasy last year. He was okay, but
Yeah,
obviously not performing to his best this year. Needs
Yeah.
an offensive line.
yeah, exactly.
First coach to be fired.
Mike McDaniel's the easy answer at the moment, but if things don't change in New York with the Giants, I think Brian Dable's a real chance as well.
Absolutely. They just moved Jackson Dart as their starting quarterback.
Yeah, I think that's pretty much a last ditch effort from Dable to try keep his job.
Absolutely. Fill in the blank. Steelers will win blank games. How many games do you reckon your beloved Steelers are going to win this year?
I'm going to go 10.
10.
I
Or
think
they
we're,
won 2 already?
yeah, we're 2-1.
Yeah.
We're known for being around the 9-win mark. Notoriously, there's the 9-8 jokes,
Yeah.
even though we've only finished that exact record once ever. But I'm going to go 10 wins.
Mike Tomlin, he always seems to get the Steelers in the playoffs.
Yeah, he knows how to get us there. He doesn't know how to win them, but
Yeah. And favourite Taylor Swift song?
easy choice of love stories. It'll be either love story or style.
Style. Yeah. I think Musty was Shake It Off. Jack
Yeah.
had the love story. And we'll finish off with rank these players in order of how they played for the Pittsburgh Steelers, these quarterbacks.
Jeez, here we
Mason Rudolph, Mitch Trubisky, Kenny Pickett, Russell Wilson, and Justin Fields.
go. Jeez, some of those names I tried to erase from my memory that they were.
One being the best.
I tried to
Mason
erase
Rudolph, where are you going to put him?
I tried to erase some of those names from my memory of them ever being a Steelers quarterback, so that's going to be hard.
I bet.
All right, we'll start with 1, and surprisingly enough, I am going to go Mason Rudolph as number 1.
Of being the best. Yeah.
A couple of years ago, Pickett got injured. Rudolph took over. I think we're 7-7 at that point. He got us to 10-7 into the playoffs and put up a competitive game in Buffalo in the first week of the playoffs. So I'm going to go Rudolph as 1. Then I'm going to go Justin Fields 2. I know it was only 6 games that he started for us, but we went 4-2 in those games, and he did actually look like a competent NFL quarterback. So I'll go Fields 2. This is where it gets tough. These other 3 names I'm trying to erase from my memory completely. I'm going to go Kenny Pickett 3. I thought he was going to be the savior, but obviously wasn't meant to be. We'll go Russell Wilson 4. If it was just the first 3 games of Russell Wilson as a Steeler, he'd probably be close to the top of this list. But the way he fell off at the end of last year was just an absolute joke.
Abomination.
Yeah, it was terrible. And then Mitch Trubisky 5. That was some of the worst quarterback play I've ever seen.
There you go. Mitch Trubisky last, Mason Rudolph first. There you go. That was rapid fire fun with Steel Curtain manager Robbie. Thanks for participating, mate. Really appreciate it.
All good.
It's been good to have you on the show. All your analysis and in-depth reviews. I think it's brought something to the show.
Yeah. If I can bring something, that's what I'm here for, mate. I appreciate you having me on. I really enjoyed it, and I'm more than happy to be on anytime you need.
Thanks, mate. Really appreciate it. Thanks for joining me on this week's episode to break down week 3 and preview week 4. Good luck in fantasy this week, mate. Appreciate it.
You too.
Thanks, mate.
Movavi. Movavi. Movavi.